Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk, let's get wrenching.
One of the most legendary motors of the Soviet Union remains the engine ZMZ-402, abbreviated DV. 402, the manufacturer of the power unit, LLC Zvolsky motor plant. It is from this that the engine received such a name, ZMZ-402. Another modification was ZMZ-24D, but it did not take root due to frequent repairs and expensive maintenance. History. It was developed by no less legendary designer Harry Voldemirovich Evett specifically for the Volga. This power unit was to replace the obsolete GAZ-21 motor. In the subsequent development was made many modifications, such as ZMZ-24D and ZMZ-4021. This motor is also called ZMZ-24, because it was originally intended to be installed on the 24th Volga, but as practice and history have shown, the engine was widely distributed to other car models. ZMZ-24D engine had improved cooling characteristics, which reduced fuel consumption. But this series of engines was interrupted in 1972, because the repair of the power unit was too expensive. Subsequently, Volga received only two power units, ZMZ-402 and ZMZ-402.1. But, as practice shows, the use of ZMZ-24 and ZMZ-24D power units have reached our time, and on some cars of the 24th series you can still find such motors. Technical characteristics and description. The Volgov motor was considered in the Union one of the most reliable. Despite the high consumption, the 402 engine was loved by many motorists. So, let's consider the main characteristics of the ZMZ-402 engine, as well as the device of operation, name characteristics manufacturer. ZMZ model ZMZ-24, ZMZ-24D modifications ZMZ-4021, ZMZ-4022, ZMZ-4025, ZMZ-24C engine type gasoline injection type carburetor configuration. 4-cylinder inline longitudinal internal combustion engine power 95 horsepower. Number of cylinders 4 number of valves 8 piston diameter 92 mm piston stroke 92 mm cooling liquid block and head material aluminum. Resource 300,000 km cylinder order 1-2-4-3 ignition system contact or contactless video material will tell you about the engine. ZMZ-402, as well as tell about some of the subtleties and nuances of overhaul motor applicability as already mentioned. The engine ZMZ-402 can be installed not only on the passenger car Volga, but also on a number of similar vehicles. Quite widely ZMZ-402 was installed on UAZ. Often you can meet UAZ-469 with Volga engine. In this case, the motor was installed on the car from the manufacturer's factory. This was due to the fact that during the period of transition from the obsolete internal combustion engine UMZ-417 to UMZ-421. At this time, the UAZ engine was going through bad times and the plant management decided to temporarily replace the Ulyanovsk motors with similar ones from Zvolsky plant. As practice and operation showed, UAZ-402 was able to withstand all the necessary loads. But, with the release of the Ulyanovsk 421 engine everything changed radically, and it was decided to abandon the use of ZMZ. The first thing to be modified is the piston group. Thus, instead of the standard piston set, a lightweight one from the Polish manufacturer ATF is installed. In the same way it is worth replacing the valves and connecting rods with lighter ones. By reducing the weight of the power unit, the torque increases and the engine power increases. The next step is to grind the crankshaft and install sport liners. In this way, it is possible to reduce the weight of the motor even more, which will allow it to gain speed faster. A separate stage is the finalization of the injection and exhaust system. Instead of native manifolds can be installed Hungarian from the company DDR line, which are designed specifically for tuning the engine. ZMZ-402 and its modifications. Instead of the native carburetor K126, usually motorists put a mono-injector or Jigulevsky ODAZ from VAZ-2107. This significantly reduces fuel consumption by a couple of liters. For improved air supply to the combustion chamber, a zero-resistance air filter is installed. An integral part of the process is the refinement of the ignition. So, many people know that there are contact and contactless, but the third option of ignition is the installation of the start with a button, which does not require a key. This ignition system has become quite common when the modernization of this internal combustion engine is underway. The tuning of the 402 engine does not end here. Also, motorists change the cooling system. For this purpose, a more perfect and lightweight aluminum radiator, a pump, and silicone pipes instead of standard ones are installed. This improves the cooling system, which is more efficient at high speeds and prevents the powertrain from overheating. Maintenance. How do I properly service my Volg motor? Very rarely on the internet you can find reliable information about the maintenance of ZMZ-402. In turn, the manufacturer's technical cards on the correct maintenance of the motor were found. So, let's describe how to carry out maintenance for the 24 kA, 1000 km, oil and oil filter replacement. 8000 km, replacement of oil, and air filter, spark plugs, high voltage wires, fine fuel filter. 17,000 km, change of oil filter, fuel filter. 25,000 km, change of oil, and air filter, spark plugs, high voltage wires, fine fuel filter, valve adjustment. 35,000 km, change of oil filter, fuel filter, replacement of timing belt and alternator. 45,000 km and thereafter, oil and oil filter change. Every 20,000 km the fuel and air filter is changed, valves are adjusted. Every 40,000 km, replacement of the timing belt. Repair and main problems. The engine ZMZ-402 and its modifications can be easily repaired even in the worst technical condition. Thus, the power unit is reassembled, the block head and the replacement of consumable elements. The repair process itself is carried out in stages, as for any power unit. So, let's consider the step-by-step process of overhaul of ZMZ-402. Disassembly. At this stage, the internal combustion engine is disassembled completely, namely, the block head is dismantled, the pallet is removed and all parts are disassembled. For this type of motors the process of defectovka is carried out in the process of disassembly. This does not include only the measurement of the cylinder block, pressure testing of the head, as well as the measurement of the crankshaft. Diagnostic operations. At this stage, work is carried out to determine the hardness and thickness of the crankshaft journals, as well as its repairability. So, if the part can be repaired, the size of the journals is determined and the product is given for further processing. The same awaits the cylinder block. The casings are measured and the repair size of the pistons is determined. Appressing the ZMZ-402 cylinder head is the process of determining the presence of cracks in the housing. All openings on the head are closed, except for the coolant inlet, into which hot water or kerosene is fed. Next, the technician looks to see if there are leaks and cracks. If not, the cylinder head is sent for repair, and if there are, then all defects must be welded. Since the part is made of aluminum, argon welding is used. In garage conditions, to fill holes in the power unit housing, motorists use cold welding. Works on the cylinder head unit. Interesting facts: the ZMZ-402 engine was quite widespread not only in the territory of the Union and the CIS, but also in the Baltic states, as well as in Germany. So, the power unit was installed on such famous models as Mercedes-Benz 302 and 115. Similar engines were installed on the following cars: Plymouth Valiant, 1967 to 1976, Dodge Dart, 1967 to 1976, Dodge Aspen and Plymouth Volare, 1976 to 1980, Chevrolet Nova, 1967 to 1974, Ford Falcon, 1962 to 1991, Volvo 140-240, 1967 to 1993, Mitsubishi Debonair, 1964 to 1986. Conclusion: as you can see, the ZMZ-402 engine was very popular for installation on other automobile brands. So, the power unit from Volga was put on UAZ, Gazelle, and even Mercedes-Benz. The 402 model motor became quite popular due to its reliability. If the power unit is properly maintained, its resource can be up to 500,000 kilometers of mileage. In repair and tuning, the engine has shown itself to be quite simple and suitable. Therefore, the ZMZ-402 can be considered one of the legends of the USSR. In conclusion, the ZMZ-402 engine stands out for its robust design and reliable performance, making it a popular choice in various vehicles. Its distinctive features, such as the overhead valve configuration and impressive torque output, contribute to its reputation in the automotive world. We hope this exploration, complete with detailed descriptions, photos, and video footage, has provided you with a comprehensive understanding of the ZMZ-402. Thank you for watching, and we encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences with this remarkable engine in the comments below.